So we're talking desk setup today, and for me, this starts right here with my own handmade desk. The materials for it were a total of $50. Actually, I think it was less than $50 for two full desks, 26 inches by 70 inches. So massive, massive desks, and they were less than $50 in total when I made them a few years back. Of course, prices have definitely gone up, so you're probably not gonna get that same exact price if you decided you wanted to build a desk for yourself right now, but I absolutely love this desk. And to pair with this, I needed something that would be powerful enough to do everything I need to do for my photography as well as my YouTube channel. So that means Lightroom was a must, Photoshop was a must, DaVinci Resolve was a must. All of these things were a must, as well as anything else I may, come up with over time. So I need to be able to do all of those things as well. And the reason why I chose the M1 MacBook Air is because it's inexpensive, it's really, really fast for most people. It should be able to handle most of your workload, as well as it's also portable, which means I could take it wherever I need to take it. If I feel like a creative slump coming along, I can just take it to the local wherever, and I can try to, spark some creativity that way, which it does do. And then it also has like a great battery life, great screen, has everything built in. And again, overall, it's a great laptop. But like most things, even things that are really great, even packages that are awesome, things that you're really looking for, they all have problems as well. And this one is no different either. See, the problem with having a laptop is that it's very hard to video edit, even photo edit sometimes, use Photoshop and that kind of things with a laptop, with a trackpad, with a smaller keyboard and a smaller screen. So what is really powerful is being able to take something like this and add a USB hub of some sort to kind of expand it into a full-fledged setup, which is what I've done here today. So to make this possible, I use the Lension USB-C hub. It comes in a ton of different models, so you can go on Amazon, you can check out their page, you can see which one fits you best. But overall, what I needed was something that I could plug one cable into my laptop to expand it into a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse, and maybe some USB devices if I need to, plug in the SD card to download data from my SD card from whatever I'm filming right now. I'd be able to do that all with one little device. And this device succeeds with that. It has 5 USB-A ports, it has HDMI 4K up to 60 hertz, it has gigabit Ethernet, it has an SD card reader, a micro SD card reader, and all for under $100. So it's a really good hub for the price. And alongside of this, I use two things to expand this into an awesome monitor setup. First is the Rain Design M stand in space gray. It looks great, it's super, super durable. It's not very expensive, coming in at just over $40. And it also raises my laptop to the perfect height for the second thing, which is the PB258Q, I believe it is, Asus monitor. It's a 25-inch 1440p 60 hertz display, has great colors, and overall, it's a great build. It's certainly far from perfect, but in my opinion, I really do believe that having a nice large display is absolutely critical for productivity uses, such as running a YouTube channel or running a photography business or doing various things. I then use the Rocket Vulcan TKL Pro as well as the Logitech MX Master 3 to expand this into a more typical desk setup. So if you've been around the channel for a while, I reviewed this Rocket Vulcan TKL Pro quite a while ago, and I have had this as my daily driver ever since. It's a great keyboard overall, has great switches in it, it feels great. I've been using it ever since. I highly recommend it if you need a keyboard. I also love its aesthetic. It's just like a really nice aluminum build. And then I also love the media buttons as well, which are super, super nice, and the knob is super, super smooth too. The MX Master 3, on the other hand, this bad boy right here is by far the best productivity mouse I have ever used today. I've tested a ton of mice out, and this thing is absolutely awesome. It really takes everything I really loved about the G502, and then it adds better battery life, and it adds better productivity performance too. Really, the only thing that I could take as a drawback for this mouse is like there's a button right here, and this is for like the gesture button for like Mac OS. It lets you swipe back and forth between different desktops depending on what you're using. I'm not really sure what you'd use it for Windows, but you could probably customize that through the Windows. The problem I have with it is it feels a little bit small. I wish it was a little bit bigger. If it was a little bit bigger, I think this mouse would be absolutely perfect for productivity uses. Now, underneath the keyboard and mouse, I use a nice faux leather desk mat from Aothia, I think that's how it's pronounced. My buddy Jack from Techmania recommended this to me a long time ago, mainly for B-roll. So he recommended this for me to use for B-roll, and so I bought them for B-roll just to have a nice top-down shots, and I ended up like falling in love with these as well. At first, I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't a big fan of the leather feel. It kind of stuck to my arms, but after I tested it for a while, I got used to it, and this thing is absolutely awesome, and it looks great too. What makes it better is that it's also super, super cheap, and the quality of it is awesome too. It comes with a ton of different different colors, so if you don't like this gray and you want to get a different color, you can go ahead and check out what they have listed, and there's a ton of different options for you guys to go for. I highly recommend it, especially for productivity purposes. If you're trying to play games, maybe getting a different one might be a better idea, a faster one per se, but other than that, for most people, this desk mat would be great. I then have my DIY external SSD right here. This is a Sabrent USB 3.2 version. It also has the Crucial P5 Plus inside. It's a 1 terabyte drive inside. It's basically a pre-built, or not a pre-built, a DIY, you make your own. I did a video about this. It's sweet, but basically you pop your own in there, and then you can just seal it up and you're good to go. There's a ton of different models out there. I really like the Sabrent one. There's also an Asus ROG Strix Orion one that I tested out. I really like the build is great on that as well. And really it's fast enough for video editing, photo editing, from storing your games, other files, that kind of stuff. It is excellent in all those departments, and I absolutely believe that if you're a creator, you should definitely have one of these as your scratch drive. This way, a drive that's actually in your system that's important doesn't fail on accident. You just, this one takes all the blunt of all the read and writes that are actually required for being a creator, a video editor, and that kind of thing. Now, while my setup tour is nearly complete, there are 2 additions to my desk that just recently came additions to my desk over the last month or so that are really powerful. I never expected them to be. So the first is this lamp right here. It's a $15 LED lamp. It has 3 different colors. It has a cool tone, like a daylight tone. It has like a neutral, and then it has like this warm color you see right here. And it also has different brightnesses too. I think 3 brightnesses as well. And then it also has like a holder for like pencils and pens and that kind of stuff. And I bought it because I wanted to add some color to the backgrounds of my videos, and it really has helped. And adding that along with these fake plants right here adds a lot of depth and adds some color and makes a really interesting background overall, at least in my opinion, and it makes everything more interesting. Also, with this light on, for whatever reason, usually during the day I'll be working, daylight coming through, a daylight bulb of my ceiling coming down, and I'll be working. I'm usually productive, usually creative, but when I add that warmth to it, I don't know why, I can't explain it. I'm sure other people can, but adding that warmth to it really helps me even more creative and even more productive all around. As always, links to everything I just discussed will be down in the description box below. Now, if you're interested in getting into content creation, you need a laptop. I highly recommend getting the M1 MacBook Air, and I made a video about that, which I'll link to right here.